But as if that's not enough, okay, there is another one that says that why many saunas are a ticking time bomb. Why many saunas are ticking time bomb. I think this is attributed to the incompetence of the people who install all those things and everything. So you have to watch out on the sauna you're having, but also no conjugal rights on eve of Busoga royal wedding. Remember? Okay. Kati nawulidde gundi yali ayomba Shafiki ne Faizo nga bayomba nettasepa ne Kani nga bayomba anti bagambye no conjugal rights on eve of Busoga royal wedding day. You know, that's awesome.
How will they know?
That's a good one.
How will they know that things are happening? Some things to okay.
Okay. So find over 50 deals at Bethel Advisory, Bank of Uganda, Ministry of Finance, CPP, UNHFC, Ministry of Local Government, etc. So you can find yourself great deals if you can access that daily monitor there. Yes.
I like that. I like the headline for the day. The teenagers not being able to take drugs, HIV drugs. Now we talk about is it HIV?
PrEP.
Like a PrEP.
HIV, ARVs.
ARVs. But yet HIV is more prevalent among the teenagers themselves. Actually. So if at all, we should be looking into factors of why are they taking the drugs in the first place? Are the drugs available for them to be taken? Are they accessible to them? Are they still being stigmatized on the issue of HIV, which I think we should be past that.
Exactly. Maybe we're taking, I think maybe we've also taken long staying on tablets. I think we need to, as soon as possible, to have the injectable, you know, kind of ARVs, as opposed, because it will not permit any stigma. You take it after maybe like 2 months, then you chill or something like that. But also, some people forget the nagging, I mean, the discomfort in taking tablets every day. Some people forget and everything. So I think once you get this injectable one, you've injected once for 2 months, no one is going to see you. Just walk into the hospital just like any other person. But I mean, you come in these drugs and you keep them there. So there's a lot of stigma.
Yes, but still in the top stories, Chintu. Yesterday, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, showed up, resuming official duties after the birth of her twins. Well, she went on her Twitter platform, formerly known as Twitter, that is on her X platform, and she said she's thrilled to be able to show up and resume official duties. Now, this confused me in some way. Well, of course, I am glad that she is back to work, and of course, I'm glad that she's well, and of course, I'm glad that she's looking amazing after the birth of her twins, her 2 boys, and it's roughly 3 weeks since then, Chintu. And this lady,
you sound to be so inquisitive about something.
Yes, actually, Ziringa wiki bidi, to be clear. But that is not my problem. My problem is, well, maybe being harsh is in a good position to show up. But is this setting a good example for mothers out there? Abali mukola, jukira waliwo ababosi b'abantu abata respecting a maternity leave. Kati Speaker wa Parliament wabanga asobola okubeerayo week 3 zokka on the maternity leave that is meant for 3 months, of which women activists are already pushing for over 90 days of maternity leave.
Yes.
How is this going to be helpful? What example? I feel like I thought I'm thinking it alone, and then I went down the her X post and tried to read the comments of the various people that, you know, came up and were posting, oh, we congratulate you. And so many people said, yes, we congratulate you, but why would you come back roughly 2 weeks into childbirth? What time are you going to have to take care of your 2 boys? Who is taking care of it? What example? Now, there is a gentleman that came on and said you need to write a letter and detail it on exactly why you had to come back to work roughly 2 weeks into you having a baby, having twins. Chintu, while you're having a baby, which also needs a maternity leave, while you're having twins.
Twins, it's another thing.
It's another thing.
Another whole world. If one can give you a headache now, 2 babies. But anyway, she's fortunate
Yeah.
She's in a better place.
Yes,
she can afford maybe
the fact that
like
she is in a better place is where the problem comes
but what
from.
you're saying that it is really setting a precedent, because now we are advocating for extension of this maternity leave from 3 months to maybe 6. And if you see it happening somewhere else, it's really confusing. It's really confusing. Yeah,
it's really confusing, and I'm going to go down with that gentleman who said she needs to write a letter and detail it on exactly why she is back to official duties roughly 2 weeks into bearing twins. This is not setting a good example. This is a bad example for employers out there that are already hard to convince to let mothers take a maternity leave for even 2 months. Naye speaker wa parliament omulamba omu ku bakulu ennyo mwene eggwanga wabanga tasobola kutuula waba tasobola kutuula wakawe n'abaana be myaka weeks kale newandibaddeyo emyezi 2 kintu waba tasobola tuula nze I'm happy for her. I'm happy, and I won't talk about the flower that they gave her. Now, members of parliament, let's not talk about the flower they gave her. Didn't you just buy her a full bouquet of flowers? Exactly. They literally had to give her anyway, let's not go there. Yeah, but I am glad she's back to work.
Can we, Namale, producer, can you please take a look at that just briefly? Yeah, yes, please. She's being... I'm reminded in the Daily Monitor of, it was on the 7th, January 21st, 2021, when we saw that experts want government to extend maternity leave. And these are nutrition experts who want government to revise maternity leave from 3 months to 6 months so that mothers can exclusively breastfeed their babies for the first 6 months of the baby's life, which is really, really important in a child's life. So now we are asking so many questions. What Speaker did coming out very, very early. I know she has national duty calling and everything. Maybe also her deputy is moved out to do certain things, and now the house cannot stay empty.
She actually does have a deputy.
She has. Yeah, but the deputy is out now also.
No, you know what, Chintu?
Now I think now we're going to bring in the other debate of having other deputies.
It is not even supposed to be a debate. If we start creating issues like this and calling for debates that should be opening the constitution up for more positions of power, that is not doing us any good. We appreciate the fact that the speaker is back to work. We appreciate the fact that she's in good health. We appreciate the fact that God has gifted her with a bundle of joy.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing, but she needs to be very clear on why she had to come back to work 2 weeks into it. This is going to be able to help other mothers out there and other employers out there not to take advantage.
Exactly. That is really, really true. According to the current Ugandan labor law, new mothers are given a minimum of 60 working days of leave, while the International Labour Organization Convention gives them 90 consecutive days. So, but there was an advocate that let us make at least 6 months. We're talking about something like 180 days, 180 days. So, oh my goodness, the debate is still on, and we are waiting to see what really goes on. There's so many questions that answers. So anyway, I don't know whether we are infringing on someone's privacy. I don't know.
No, this is when you're a speaker of parliament, things like this are no longer, we look at every step that you make. We look at every decision that you make, and a decision like this, yes, we are not pulling it down that it's a wrong decision, but it actually makes me worry who is going to be able to take care of her twins. In our African culture, we have been raised to understand that, well, what was that Dabana? Well, you have to be there. And we would love the same thing for her. So it worries us. And she's of course capable of having enough people take care of her children. Yes, it is very good, but also her presence is important in her children's lives. So we really need, she needs to break that down for us.
She really needs to break that down. Now, elsewhere, Namali, in another story, a couple of days ago, northern Uganda, eastern Uganda were attacked by one of this, comforting disease called the nodding disease, plague. And it really had a great impact. And in if you can see, in 2022, leaders asked government to support victims of nodding disease. And most of them these were in Kitgum district. They're suffering, people were dying and everything. And of course, in 2022, again, December, President Museveni delivers nodding disease plague. And we are seeing whether that plague did something. Now, in 2023, in January, government mounts fresh plot to tackle nodding disease. Now, all these stories were in the Daily Monitor because they've been following up on this. Now, the recent one is yesterday. Now, nodding disease patients go to 2 years without drugs.
Okay.
So all these promises by the president, all these efforts, they've been futile. They've been just empty promises, and they've not been doing much. But now, it is now 2 years without drugs. Now, we're talking about mothers of children with nodding disease syndrome that is in Awil sub-county wait for relief food items from Padea district local government in January. So what is happening there? It is really, really, really demoralizing, and it's really worrying as there are no medications.
And yet we are looking at drugs that are worth millions and millions of money being hit by the rain. Sometimes I don't know how to. Sometimes I don't know how to. I saw
that in Busia, and I felt so bad. And I'm like, man, and imagine among the people who are responsible were guys from National Medical Stores.
Of course, and I like how the picture that was taken, that was published in the paper, had the National Medical Stores truck parked right there in front of. How negligent can you possibly be?
Imagine. And we're talking about drugs worth millions. Now, among maybe those drugs, who knows that some of them were to benefit these kind of people. Now, you are just playing gimmicks on someone's lives, because these are lives which have to be taken, because you've been entrusted with people's lives normally. I mean, you are working with National Medical Stores. You have to be careful, and you have to be, man, abantu bakola ebintu and you're like, oba ndoza n'abantu baatuka ne bakimanya tewali nnyo kyamaanyi kijja kukolebwa, tewali nnyo kyamaanyi. So,
well, Chintu, in another story that I wanted to, 15 people died in floods in Kenya yesterday, and that was the floods swept away scores of houses, devastated farmlands, and also these most of the people that were staying in camps were swept away. Now, the heavy rains particularly in the bone dry north in recent days, and sent water gushing into homes and submerging roads, with similar scenes playing out across other parts of East Africa. Now, when we talk about East Africa, we definitely talk about Uganda as well, because we know it is the same thing that has been happening here. So as of yesterday, 15,164 households have been affected. 15 casualties have been reported by the Kenyan Red Cross. Now, more than 1,000 livestock has died, while at least 240 acres of farmlands has been destroyed totally out. Now, the United Nations Humanitarian Agency said last month that East Africa would likely encounter heavier than normal rainfalls over the October to December period because of the El Nino phenomenon. Now, just if you thought that this is happening only in Uganda, no, this is happening across East Africa. So the same thing is happening in Kenya, where in just one day they have lost millions of things generally, when it comes to farmland, when it comes to people, when it comes to livestock, when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to roads. Everything has been destroyed in just one pour. Now, still in the same regards, Uganda National Road Authority is cautioning Uganda about road safety amid these heavy rains. Now, the Uganda National Roads Authority has cautioned the general public to be safe as they use roads during this rainy season. The notice, which expressed precautionary measures for road users, was issued through the Public Notice of Uganda National Road Authority on November 6, 2023, through the authority's social media platforms. So if you want to go through it, you can as well go to their X platform and go through it. The Uganda National Road Authority would like to notify the public of the safety concerns related to the heavy rain seasons that are going to be going on till the month of December. As advised by the Uganda National Meteorological Authority, this wet season is causing flooding and landslides sites that continue to damage sections of the road transport system. So UNRA therefore urged all road users to be carefully trend through this rainy season. So as you're there, I'm not going to go through the story entirely, but wherever you are, you just know that if you're living in East Africa, that is Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, talk about Rwanda, Burundi, they've not specified much when it comes to Democratic Republic of Congo or South Sudan as well, but those particular countries will be experiencing heavy rains to be trending all the way through December, which we are referring to as the El Nino season. Now, if you're in Uganda, then you should be aware of the flooding that happens. Now, be clear to be conscious of open trenches. You need to be conscious of where your child is going to be passing through this season. You need to be conscious of the times you pick your children from school, and also if you let them travel on the border on their own.
Exactly.
You need to be very conscious of the kind of border that you're using.
That's what parents have been doing. Actually, in Hoima district, normally what's happening there, in Hoima town, there is the river Kafu, which busted its banks at Karongo village, that is Kikonda parish, which is something like 19.8 kilometers from Hoima town, and it has affected the connectivity and travel of Hoima, Kampala via Kiboga. It busted its banks now. So we talk about really crazy rains out there. People need to be on high alert. Exactly.
Yeah, so we can say this multiple times all through the season, but it is going to be it's very much up to you as a person individually. Take very good care of your health. Now, if you're a driver, you need to know that a certain speed limit that you shouldn't cross, especially in this rainy season. You don't have any reason to be driving very carelessly on the road. Now, that is regardless of whether you're driving a motorcycle or you're driving a vehicle at that, or you're a pedestrian. You need to be conscious of where you're passing.
Again, normally this brings me to ask questions, and we need to have SPC Kananura here to come because Operation Fika Salama is still on. So we want to know how far has it gone? Is it really yielding results, or it is not? Because now when you see also the rate at which accidents are happening and everything, the errant drivers, the increasing madness on the road, these guys need to be brought to book. Someone needs to put them in the right place. So I think what you're questioning and you're calling upon, it is really, really important, especially this. And Katumba Mala Minister for Works also launched Yambala for Me in a bid to combat this increasing road carnage. So something must be done. And like we always take people that work with your cell phone. When you see someone doing stuff like the other link driver who was, driving yet is texting and whatever, just take a video, put it on the socials, call the responsible people and have this guy see justice or face the law, something like that. Normally, away from that, Nation is in its day 2 of the Science Week. We are into the Science Week, which kicked off yesterday. So today is day 2, tomorrow it's going on. And there's so many things that are being showcased at that place. Of course, the National Science Week started yesterday at Kololo Independence Ground with local investors showcasing and also showcasing a lot of manufactured stuff. There are so many technologies. They're manufacturing cars, planes, excavators and all those things, and which is not really bad. And the Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Monica Musenero, is in there, and we hope also the President might drop there because he's really passionate about science and a lot of stuff. So it is day 2 into the National Science Week.
You know the problem that we have with this, these young scientists that come out and put out everything that they have on the table. It's usually an issue of funding.
Yeah, although I have issues normally again with, I have issues with us because I think we are rushing, going ahead of ourselves. I think, I'm not against, injecting money in science and everything, but let us get this money, all of it, before we go to manufacture cars, planes, because I know you cannot compete with Japan, apparently, or South Africa. Let us engage this money in agriculture. Majorly without that we may have something like 70% intentional in agriculture, that Uganda weekly basis we can produce stuff. We're talking about tons of tomatoes, tons of watermelons, tons of tomatoes, tons of coffee.
Do you know that we have a car that is made in Uganda?
Sorry?
Do you know that we have a car that is made in Uganda?
You've been sick. Have you been eating while you're sick? I mean, I don't have any problem with that. This is never we are going too far. It's okay to get anyway. Namale, away from that, our boss wakiri bagala kusasula. Kesi waliwo abasajja abavuddeyo nga bakulina smokuku. Bagala kubasasula sente za babanye emyezi ena.
Na hizo sente mekezo.
Bakolera kakaka. Ikyagala. Babosi chichi.
Kakaaga ke kalemye kesi kusasula. Olabadde enguudo zaffe baalimiriro zikola nga tubadde 6 billion z'abalimu okukola. Akatona ako akakaaga monthly 6,000 monthly, right? How can they fail to pay 6,000 shillings monthly? Musasula abantu. These are some of the problems that are creating the mental health issues in this country. When someone is waking up on a daily basis, early in the morning, to clean the roads, to keep the roads safe, that is money that they need. They don't even need. In fact, wabosobola musasule daily.
Kubanga first of all tebalina headgears, ebintu ebyokuba protectinga ku gundi, balongoosa enguudo ezisinga okuddugala mu nsi yonna za kolasi nga bazibisa ebinya bizibisa gundi ettaka naye naku zino bagezezaako kubanga awo kansanga
bagezezaako obika n'ettaka
kolasi ennaku zino
tekuli kolasi kintu teri wenda okujjako wali ku Jinja Road where they have been. When I was
passing through this road that goes to hell, to
hell.
Slip of the tongue. Industrial area kuberio. Omanyi bambi abantu babadde concerned batuse ne bagamba katweyambe nga omanyi obanga oli mulekwa toyina bazadde toyina bakuyamba ne bakwata ettaka people debris ne batandika okuyiwa mu kkubo. Industrial area is hell on earth. The roads, I feel for drivers.
So you were not. It wasn't a slip of the tongue when you said the road to hell.
I can say it.
Okay, we will take a short break, and then when we're back, we'll be handling health eating.
You're watching Healthy Morning. We'll be right back after the break.